We begin with the race for the White House. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump launched a volley of verbal attacks against his Democratic rival Kamala Harris. Hosting a press conference at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, the ex-president repeatedly called Vice President Harris incompetent and accused her of being disrespectful towards her ethnicity. The GOP presidential nominee also said that his campaign was prepared for President Joe Biden and will now have to change tactics against Harris.
We have somebody that hasn't received one vote for president, and she's running, and that's fine with me. But we were given Joe Biden, and now we're given somebody else. And I think, frankly, I'd rather be running against somebody else. I haven't recalibrated strategy at all. It's the same policies, open borders, weak on crime. I think she's worse than Biden because he got forced into the position. She was there long before. She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California as the AG.
Trump then went on to take pot shots at the Democrat as he evaded questions about how exactly he would prepare to take on the Kamala Harris-Tim Walz duo.
Kamala, who, by the way, is worse than Biden, and she's actually not as smart. Okay? She's actually not as smart. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
And when asked about recent nationwide polls that show Kamala Harris leading the race by 5 points, the former president conveniently blamed the lead on gender politics.
Well, she's a woman. She represents certain groups of people. But I will say this. When people find out about her, I think she'll be much less. And I see it right now. I see her going way down in the polls now.
Also, when asked about the massive crowds he was seeing at her rallies, Donald Trump said that he pulled the best and biggest crowds in the United States and compared himself to civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Spoken to the biggest crowds. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, same number of people. If not, we had more. And they said he had 1 million people, but I had 25,000 people. But when you look at the exact same picture, and everything's the same because it was the fountains, the whole thing, all the way back to from Lincoln to Washington, and you look at it, and you look at the picture of his crowd, my crowd, we actually had more people. They said I had 25,000, and he had 1 million people, and I'm okay with it because I liked Dr. Martin Luther King.
Now, after weeks of refusing to debate Kamala Harris, Trump has finally agreed to debate the vice president on the 10th of September, a debate previously agreed to by the Trump campaign and hosted by ABC News. However, the Republican proposed at least 3 more debates in September, to which Kamala Harris said she was open to them after the September 10 debate. Now, during the press conference, the GOP nominee continued his rant against President Biden and Vice President Harris as he criticized their tenure in the White House. He claimed the Biden administration was pushing the United States towards an economic depression and setting the stage for a possible world war.
I think that our country is right now in the most dangerous position it's ever been in from an economic standpoint, from a safety standpoint. You could end up in a depression of the 1929 variety, which would be a devastating thing. Took many years, took decades to recover from it. And we're very close to that, and we're very close to a world war. In my opinion, we're very close to a world war. We have people that don't know how to handle it.
Now that Trump has given in to a debate with the vice president after initially saying he wouldn't, perhaps the one-on-one will be an opportunity for the convicted felon to finally blunt the growing momentum Harris has been building since President Joe Biden exited the race. One thing is for certain, for a man obsessed with crowd sizes, Trump can expect a massive television audience when they do finally meet face to face.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future, Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished. On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can you expect from this?
Hello, I'm Alison Green, coming to you from Durban, South Africa. Today we have a special show.
Start with a report on India's shifting nuclear posture. The first time since India officially became a nuclear power.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.